All right, hello and welcome to the actual sixth episode of Birdwatch. Last time I called episode 5-6. My bad. Today on the podcast we have Jude,
Hey.
Lithium,
I'm still here.
Mustard,
What's good, fellas?
Phantom,
Hi.
and me, your host Techno.
Yo.
Before we get started in the topics, who wants to go first discussing the games that you guys have been playing?
We can just start from the top if you'd like.
Might as well.
So
Yeah,
Jude, Liz, Mustard, and I.
Yeah,
And Techno
Hey.
somewhere in there.
I go last.
So,
Yeah.
as of recently, I've been playing a lot of Rivals of 8 for more, because I recently gotten back into the game after like 6 months of not playing it anymore. I've been having so much fun because the new update was released and I can play as all the DLC characters now. And it's just been so much fun. I love all of them besides the funny snake who is really toxic to play against, but it's been a lot of fun. I've also been playing a lot of Robo Blast recently, the fucking Sonic kart game. It's brought me nothing but fucking hell. It's like Moray Towers as a game, and it's painful. Are you okay?
I think I'll be okay.
I hope so. I'm not.
You know the taboo that name comes with in this house.
I'm just hiding
You
the
can't
pain.
you can't just say
I'll censor it. Just censor it
the
in
M
post.
word like that.
I'll censor it in post.
The
Alright.
M word?
The M word.
All
The
I
M-word.
see before me is splashes of ink everywhere. My teammates all dead except for me. I am the only one inking any territory.
Let me
Moray Towers!
If you're at home, the war is over.
It's not your fault.
It's just Vietnam.
Your platoon wasn't your fault.
Egg should have won! Egg should have won!
But yeah, like I was saying, one of the main things they added in the new update was like a tetherball mode. It's just tetherball, but you can beat the shit out of your opponent like in real life. And it's really
So tetherball?
fun. Yeah, it's just tetherball. But it's tetherball and Rivals, and it's honestly, like, it sounds dumb, but it's so much fun.
How does tetherball work in a 2D game?
You beat the ball and it spins around.
Like, yeah.
How
so
can
you
how
can-
can it spin?
You mean how
so
does it
the
spin?
it literally just spins. It's
Yeah,
just
like,
animated.
What?
Like, the closer it is to the camera, the bigger the ball looks. The farther away it is, the smaller it looks.
yeah,
You can hit
like,
from anywhere.
distance scaling, dude.
So the way it works is that you can't hit the ball if it's on the other person's side, but you can hit it always when it's on your side. Even if it's, like, in the back, it just doesn't go as far. Like, it just has less knockback if you hit it from further back. And it's super fun. Like, I thought I was gonna not enjoy the mode and play it, like, once, but I've been playing it a ton, and I think it could even be, like, competitive and stuff, and have, like, its own tier
Competitive
list and
tetherball.
shit. Yeah. Sports
I mean,
are
I think
finally
that's
good.
Sports are fun. Let's go!
Finally.
Sports, but awesome.
I wish.
Yeah,
Sports just
that's all
haven't
I
been
have
the
to
same
cover.
since they stopped making Mario Strikers games.
True.
Like
The
2008.
NFL's been real quiet since then.
Yeah,
It hurts, man.
I wonder why.
They know they can't beat us.
exactly.
They have
Yeah.
no chance.
That's all I got for that. If you want to go next, Liv.
Alright. I do want to try Rivals again. I tried it months ago, but none of the characters really clicked with me. I believe on a more technical sense that it is better with Smash, but as far as the base cast goes, I didn't really enjoy playing as anybody. But
Yeah,
I want to
Hey,
try it
I'm always
again
around
again.
If you want to try again, I'm up
Yeah.
for playing.
Yeah, definitely. I'll let you know. But as far as what I have been playing, Halo 3 ODST dropped on the Master Chief Collection recently, and I played through it. Took me about 2 sittings, and I honestly don't have a whole lot to say about it. It is very straightforward, and I got through the game in a little over 4 hours. From what I understand, it was originally meant to be like a expansion for Halo 3 that was made into a full game, and it really shows. So you play as this rookie of this Special Forces Marine squad during an alien invasion in a city of Africa, right? So your squad goes missing. You spend half of the game trying to track down clues to their location. Only, during these levels, you're wandering through this small chunk of a city looking for something to press E on. the city is pretty empty. You encounter a few enemies sometimes, but that's all you really get out of this. You're pretty much just wandering around this big, open, empty city, and you're looking for something to press E on. And that's like half of the game. The other half of the game, you play as the other squad members in flashbacks, and these levels are actually really fun and kind of make the game somewhat worth it. But other than that, there's really not much to say about it. Like, half of the game just wastes your time, half of the game is pretty fun. It's very middle of the road and just very eh.
I mean, so the part about walking around and pressing E, so it's just like finding interactables.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like
That's
you
quite good
you
gameplay.
investigate these sites of battle, signs of battle throughout the city and look for like a clue. And then when you find the clue, you press E on it, and then it triggers the flashback level where you play as one of your squad mates.
Okay, now I'm not very familiar with the Halo franchise at all. I've never owned an Xbox in my life. Compare that to what an actual Halo, what the other Halo game would entail. Like,
So-
what's the difference?
I mean, other Halo games, you are usually, charging into, like, hundreds of enemy soldiers and stuff like that. It's like more of a straight-up shooter. And this game still has that. That still happens with the squad mates levels. But for the other levels, they try and do like this detective kind of thing, only they don't really do much of anything to like expand upon it mechanically. So it really is, like, I'm not exaggerating, you are literally just looking for some highlighted object to press E on.
Oh, that's it. Nothing.
That is pretty much it. You have a couple of enemy encounters along the way, but other than that, you're just following this beacon, you look for something to press E on, and that is literally half of the levels in the game.
That does sound quite. Nah.
Yeah, it's very meh. The other levels are fun. They're really fun, but yeah, when half of your game is just meandering and stuff, it's it becomes very meh as a result.
That doesn't sound the greatest.
No.
Doesn't sound the greatest. What's next?
What's next for me? I plan on doing Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Finally.
Ooh, Dark Moon. All right.
Yeah.
I love Dark Moon. I
love
fucking
Dark
great.
Moon too. Yeah,
People
I had a
give
great
it way
time
too
playing.
much shit just because it's not like the original. It's so good.
Yeah, that's what I
It's just
hear.
one
I'm
take.
excited to try it out.
It's
Yeah,
really good.
It only gets shit because it's not like the original. It's genuinely a great game.
I think it gets bashed a lot because it's more linear levels.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's more level based and stuff
yeah.
like that rather than one big mansion. Which I
Right.
still think it's just a new take, and I think it's fun.
And yeah, I think it's fair. I think they handle it pretty well. It's
it's
great
great.
for just picking up and playing.
Mhm.
If I remember, it's been years, but if I remember correctly, I think they're like 30 minutes each, or maybe less.
Each
Yeah,
level?
The,
Wow, that sounds lengthy, actually.
the levels have decent length. It's definitely a good portion longer than the original Luigi's
I
Mansion.
could be wrong, but
Oh, yeah.
they're decent. They got some meat to them.
That's good to
I
hear, because
love
I got
it.
through the original Luigi's Mansion in 1 6-hour sitting, which is not bad, but...
I don't think you'll finish it in 6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be in one session. It's definitely a better length, and the puzzles were surprisingly interesting. Like, maybe I was just because I was a little kid
Mhm.
and didn't know what the hell I was doing, but actually like trying to collect things and figure out the way to get things and the new ghost types, it was all so interesting.
Alright, now I'm really pumped to give this a shot. Looking forward to
Also,
October.
it has the most banging ringtone of any
True.
Luigi game.
So true.
Oh,
In
really?
fact, in fact, it is so banging that I have had it for my phone's ringtone for years. Absolutely. In fact, when I played that game and I heard that ringtone for the little DS thing where you talk to EGAD, I was like, when I get a phone, that's gonna be my ringtone.
Oh,
Not
so it's a
sure.
DS now? Because in the first one it was a Game Boy Color.
No, yeah, it's a DS.
That's
it's a
so
it's
cute.
an original DS. It's
Yeah.
here I have the thing. Let me play it.
I used to just let it play when I used to play the game.
Noise
'cause-
canceling? You
Oh,
gonna do
there
it for
it
me?
is.
All right, yeah, I just gotta talk during it. But yeah, this is the tune. It's bumping.
moving.
I
Oh
love
my
it.
god, I love this.
It's so good. Yeah, I know, right? I gotta keep
Keep
talking to
that
my mic
copyright.
won't pick it up, but yeah, it's great.
That's gonna sound so weird in post, but
Oh, I don't. Yeah, you see, we're high production here.
We
it's
are.
okay.
Here,
I can think of. I can probably just get that clip downloaded, and I can get that to Techno, and we'll actually play that over the phone recording.
So not only are we gonna have my mic audio play it, but we're gonna have it in post too.
Fuck yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds disgusting. I love it. All right.
All right.
Yeah, just mute mustard throughout the entire
I mean-
podcast.
There you
I
go.
could remove the part where you started, the little part where you started playing it, as long as no one was talking over it.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I could just
Well, we
remove that
didn't-
part, play the
We
clip.
didn't say anything of worth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could just
I
remove that.
trust.
play it
I
over.
trust your editing prowess. Techno.
You shouldn't.
Yeah. I really hope you end up enjoying that game because I loved it as a kid, and I think you'll end up enjoying it a lot as well.
Yeah. It's like I have very, very strong memories of playing it on car rides in like 10 o'clock at night, like pitch black outside, with the woods going by me, and I'm just playing Luigi's Mansion, and it's like, oh, it's so good.
You know the one thing I hated from that game? I think it was one of the final mansions, like the one right before the final one. The lead up to the mansion is a really long, thin, like, piece of wood, and it's really long, but the way it works, at least on, like, the original console, is you had to, like, balance your DS. And to stay on the wood, and if you leaned at all, you would fall. But I had
Is that
shaky
real?
hand. Yeah.
Oh.
And I fell so many times, and I was stuck for so long.
Couldn't you turn gyro off?
Couldn't
I
you just
don't-
put
I
it on
didn't
a
know how.
table? Just
I
put it on
didn't
the
know
table
how.
and play on the table.
I didn't want to.
That's fair.
All right, with shaky hands.
I hated it though. But
Shaky
other than
hands.
that, I loved the game.
I'm excited
Nice.
for it. All right, Mustard. How about you?
About me? All right. So, mainly recently, what I've been playing a fair amount of is Left 4 Dead 2.
Let's
Uh,
go.
I know, right? It's what is it like? It was made in 2009, so it's like more than 10 years old
Something
or
like
something
that.
like something like that. Yeah. I've always been interested in it. It's been nah, sorry. I've always been interested in it. It's been like it was like a YouTube game for a really long time. I have
Yeah.
very strong memories of people playing custom maps on and stuff with like Barney costumes and freaking
Oh, yeah.
Mario.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Once we got it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My family came in and busted my chops. But anyway, so the update came out and the new community update,
Mhm.
and it finally gave me a chance to get in and give it a try
Mhm.
for $2. So yeah, I mean you can't pass up that kind of deal. And holy moly, it's fun.
Yeah.
dude.
It's
I love
it's
Left 4
like
Dead.
Left 4 Dead 2 is so much fun.
like you get 4 people and you all kind of know how to play and you just go through it. It's a blast.
Yeah. Left 4 Dead
Like-
2 is one of my favorite games ever, and that game's longevity. I mean, it still shows. The game is over 10 years old at this
Yeah.
point, and it not only is it still going strong with this community update that just came out, but all of the workshop stuff just give it infinite replayability.
I know.
Yeah.
You can find
I
so
haven't-
many
I love
custom
games that are workshop.
campaigns and stuff. It's mind-blowing how much content there is.
I haven't even dipped my toes into the mods, and even without doing that, there's already so much stuff like all the different campaigns you can play
Mhm.
from Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
Mhm.
And there's the versus modes with 8 people, survival,
Mhm.
realistic like hard modes, and then all the mutation game modes. There's like what
Mhm.
20?
Mm-hmm.
I love mutation game mode.
And that's just base game.
Yeah, this is just straight up base game.
Yeah,
It's
I
nuts.
only owned Left 4 Dead base game when I was a kid because I had it on console, so I couldn't touch Workshop, and I loved it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like even better with Workshop. More games should have Workshop in general.
I know.
I agree.
Imagine a game like Cuphead or Fury with Workshop. People just creating like infinite bosses and
Oh,
levels
yeah.
and stuff. Every game should have Workshop. Just every game ever.
I wholeheartedly agree,
Yeah.
just because of how much it extends the longevity of games.
Think about Mania. That game was completely made by fans. Imagine if there was fan support, like fan levels in it. That'd be fucking great.
You know what? This is giving me inspiration for another topic, and I want to talk about just the fan influence on franchises.
You know what? Let's write it down. We'll do it next
Didn't
episode.
we already do that?
Sort
no.
of. We talked about
but in a negative
in
light.
a
I want
negative
to do a
light.
positive.
This is more so like fan games and stuff like that.
Yeah, Workshop
okay.
fan games. Let's write that down. We'll talk about that later.
Yep, I'm
I'll
writing
put
it
it in the
down
notes
now.
now.
But yeah, I mean, overall, it's a great game. I don't know when this is going up. Like a week from now,
Yeah, a week from now.
Probably.
All right, so it probably won't be $2 then, but you should get it anyway because it's a blast to play, and you get like 4 people, and you have the time of your lives.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a timeless game. Because it's 10 years old, it will run on your computer, so
It will run on your computer.
it will run on your computer,
I don't
honestly.
want it on my computer.
Okay,
Huh?
alright. I guess I'm just gonna have to fight you and make you play it.
No. Why would I want it to run on my computer? That sounds like it'd break it.
I sure hope it does.
I hope it does.
Okay, buddy. Okay, pal.
I feel like you're not getting the joke about it actually running on my computer instead of like being.
Oh, no,
able
no,
to
no, no,
play
no, no,
it.
no. I got
Okay,
it.
okay.
No,
I got it.
I still want to beat you up.
I still want to beat you up, yeah.
Just in general,
We are throwing hands.
your jokes aren't funny.
You are going to face me in the ring.
There is no.
You will lose. You will all lose.
Okay, whatever you say,
Dude.
pal.
If
Alright.
it's not
I have
even
Lax
hidden,
Chris
he'll
in
lag
my
out the
corner.
way.
Oh. I mean, that just makes me want to hit harder.
You gonna give Lax Chris your lagging powers?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I said. I said I have him in my corner.
How are you gonna give him your powers?
He's my Doc Brown. No, wait.
He
He's
will
my
be the
Doc
Doc to my
Brown.
Mac.
I meant Doc Lewis.
He's my. Oh gosh, he's my Doc Brown. He's gonna. With my coach, I'm gonna go back in time and beat up you as an infant. All's fair in love and war, baby.
You go back
No,
to
actually,
Wait,
no.
go
It's
back in
Doc
time.
Brown now. He's gonna go back in time to hit your mom in the stomach.
so it's like in between rounds, right? You go back to your corner, and he's like, "Man, that guy hit you with one world punch. Does that mean Gino's in Smash? You think?"
All right.
Alright, we accidentally skipped over Techno, by the way. What
Oh, I thought he said he was going last. My
Yeah,
bad.
I'm going last. It's Phantom.
Oh, I
so-
didn't hear that. Alright, you
Or is Mustard done?
Yeah.
so.
I'm
So
done.
it's Phantom.
So I recently started and finished Batman Arkham Asylum
Let's
in like
go.
2 sittings.
Nice.
It's been a long time since I do long plays. Since I beat games in 2 sittings. They were both about like 5 hours.
I love Arkham Asylum so much.
The game itself, I wanted to think of more things wrong with it, but I just couldn't. It's an amazing game.
No, yeah, it's aged
It's,
very well.
9 or 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I personally prefer City and Origins. I like their structure more, their form more.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's probably on par.
Our Asylum is my favorite personally, even though City especially fixes a lot of issues that it had with it, like boss fights. Asylum just has this mood to it. It's actually kind of scary, and I also like the light Metroidvania aspects to it. Like, I wouldn't exactly call it a Metroidvania, but like, you are just in this island trying to navigate your way through it and stuff, kind of like a Metroidvania. But yeah, I love the Arkham games a lot. I love Arkham Asylum a lot. It's a very, very fun game, very terrifying at times, and it's just so enjoyable.
You know, I've got to ask. So, the newer games past Asylum, they just kind of give you more,
Basically.
right? Why? As someone who's only played Arkham Knight and Arkham Origins, what? Why would
that's
I?
interesting.
Why would I go? Why would I go back to Arkham Asylum?
So, like I said, Arkham Asylum, it does not have as many features as the games that came after, but not only is the plot a lot better, but it has this unique tone and mood to it. The Asylum is a very haunting place, and you get insights into criminals and the psychological issues that they have and stuff. And as the game progresses, it just gets more and more horrifying as things go on. Like, it is borderline rated M, I would say. And
Great, like the croc scene.
yeah, the croc scene is really good. One of the side missions is really great too, where you are trying to hunt down all the diary entries of Amadeus Arkham, who was the person that established the asylum in the first place, and it's just so creepy figuring out that side content. That's one of the games. That's one of the only games where I actually enjoy doing the side content, because you find this interesting stuff and you are just so hooked on that game's atmosphere. And the thing is, it's not mechanically, it isn't even that lesser compared to the games that come after it. Like, the most that the games that come after it add are things like just
Thugs.
yeah, that, and just like more travel options and things like that. So you don't have as good of a glider. I don't think you can do that thing in like City where you dive hella low and then you just like fly way, way, way back up. Like, it's scaled down a lot more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you're just in a smaller location.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, mechanically, it's not like inferior. I strongly recommend it, especially if you liked Origins and Night.
All right.
And then City, I just think, is the best of the best, because, well, Origins gets a lot of flack, and
For the lightning hands, pretty much.
for the lightning hands, yeah. But City is Origins is based on City and City's map, but that's the thing. City is the OG, and City's just, it loses that tone and mood that Asylum has in exchange for being technically more complex. I also
More
Mhm.
epic, grand.
Yeah, I don't think the story is quite as, like, focused. It's a little all over the place. But other than that, a City is more or less a straight-up upgrade from Asylum.
All right.
I
cool.
think Asylum has mainly two things over the sequels. It has a superior atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
though I don't think they were aiming to replicate it anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and better side content. Because
Yeah.
City, Origins, and I think Night, I haven't played it yet, add a lot of Riddler trophies, a lot to the Riddler challenges. While
Yeah.
Asylum, it's a lot more focused.
Mhm.
I felt like I could 100% this game, even though I didn't want to.
I
The-
did, actually, when I had it on
Getting-
a PS3.
Getting some of the riddles when you see them, and then finding the thing in the room that triggers the solution is quite nice.
Yeah, it's really
sure.
satisfying.
And getting the Arkham Chronicles, getting all the entries for the villains is really nice.
Mm-hmm. And the patient tapes. I love
Yeah.
listening to the patient tapes.
Yeah,
Now I kind of want to play it now.
It's so good, I promise you. Like,
and the Scarecrow parts are probably the better
oh yeah.
form of boss fights, if you count that.
I don't know if I would really count it as a boss fight, but they are still so good. I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil it, but there's this one section. You know what? I can't even say anything about it because it will spoil the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like,
Don't do it.
I feel like Phantom knows which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It
I know what you
freaked
mean.
me out so hard when I encountered it the first time. I thought something was wrong with the game.
They're a little less impactful on second playthrough, but they're better not spoiled
Yeah, absolutely.
for a first one.
Man, I want to
think
replay it now.
it's really good.
It's really good.
Nice.
I think I plan to, over the next 2 weeks, finish some games I've been carrying for a while.
Mhm.
To finish off Doom and
Let's go.
Metopia, which is less important, but I need to finish it.
Yeah, that's fair. Can't leave it unfinished.
And
Yeah.
before the end of the year, I want to play Arkham City and Origins. But that's when I do play them.
I hope you get to Origins around Christmas time.
Yeah,
It'd
it's
just be
perfect
so
for that.
perfect. Yeah.
All right. So,
So Techno.
Techno, I'm sorry.
Hello.
Sorry, I love
Hi.
Batman a lot.
Yeah,
Batman's cool. What can we say?
Batman
Arkham
is,
games are
Batman
great.
is based.
I agree with you guys. Arkham Knight.
Oh.
Ooh, that's probably the one I like tried to 100% complete, and then
Oh.
I didn't want to do all the Riddler trophies.
Yeah, the Batmobile in Arkham Knight is just
The-
bad.
I feel like I'm always gonna be that one guy that enjoyed the Batmobile and Arkham Knight, but I feel like that's a discussion for another day.
Definitely,
Because
yeah.
I feel like that could be an hour-long
Oh, yeah.
fight to the death.
I'll
So,
just say right now you're wrong.
Yeah, I told you I'm not gonna get it. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
we're
I'm trying.
gonna
Trying.
maybe we'll talk about that another time. But let's get into what you were playing this week.
All right, I've been playing the Mario 3D collection.
Oh boy.
because I've never played most of the games. I
Mhm.
don't understand the hype behind 64.
I don't think 64 has aged well at all. I really
It
don't.
Doesn't. I keep getting messed up by the stupid camera.
Mhm.
The movement's weird. Sometimes I just like slide off of things and bonk into a wall,
Yep,
and then I
yep.
lost a little penguin. So then I had to go back to the beginning, and it happened 3 more times.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
happened to me.
that's what I was. I mean, I'm not trying to go back to the last one, but yeah, that's what I was saying about the 64 and how much better it is with mods and stuff that actually fix a lot of those issues, like the camera. It's just, I really don't think that 64 has aged well in the slightest.
I can
You know,
tell.
The game I compare it to, as far as Nintendo goes, is Ocarina of Time. Not because of its impact
Mm. Yeah.
and relative importance, but Ocarina of Time has aged a lot better.
Oh yeah.
Personally, I think Ocarina's an 8 or a 9 because
Mhm.
I don't know how controversial this is, but I don't think it does that. It doesn't do anything I hate,
Mhm.
but nothing I love either.
I love Ocarina's
Mario-
dungeons a lot. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Mario 64 straight out has some things I don't like.
Mhm.
The camera, some levels near the end, they
Oh,
don't feel
yeah.
coherent anymore. They feel like a bunch of platforms struck together.
Yeah.
Talking about
Rainbow,
the Bowser
Rainbow
thing.
Cruise is
Rainbow Cruise.
just I always skip it, and that's one
The-
thing I appreciate about its freeform nature.
Bowser levels are forgivable because they're kind of made for that. I don't know.
Yeah, and they're also a lot more doable. Rainbow Cruise is just aggravating, and I refuse to do it.
The clock is also horrible, but you know, at least it has a theme.
Yeah, and the clock can be doable, especially if you do the trick where it freezes everything in place.
When I first played it, I just got the 60 stars because oh man.
Oh man, you were 10 away from being able to beat the game.
Oh, okay, I got 70 stars.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's usually what I do. I usually just do the bare minimum when it comes to 64 because, like you said, when you get to the end, a lot of those worlds just suck. They just suck. What Dry World is so tedious.
I
Ugh.
think it's a solid 7 out of 10 for me.
But so Techno, what about the other games? Have you touched Galaxy or Sunshine?
Galaxy is so far my favorite game in the collection. I've
As it
gone the
should be.
farthest in that. I haven't gotten that far in Sunshine, but it's fun.
I don't want to go off on Sunshine because if I do, I won't stop. But Galaxy is, like I said before, my favorite Mario 3D title. I love it. It's aged beautifully. I really want to play it again.
I've got it. I gotta bust out the Wii sometime and bring it out. I have so many incredible memories of the game.
It
Just
kind of
like
sucks.
being there.
Mhm.
I haven't really finished it since I was a kid. I owe it to myself to replay it.
You totally
You
do.
should. You totally should.
I remember liking it, and it has some value to me because it was a birthday gift, and it was probably the first game I beat.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I just don't remember it enough to sing a love song for it.
I feel like if you play it again, you're really going to be surprised at how well it's aged.
It's a
It's-
miracle
it's super
how
good.
how they were able to make that game look so incredible on a Wii.
And no motion sickness.
Strong,
No motion
In
sickness.
2007.
yeah, strong art direction, I think.
Well, I mean, just even on a technical level, just like how they just get so how they just. Okay, maybe it's been too long. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it in too much detail.
Yeah,
Might end up sounding-
I don't know if it's aged as well visually as you might think. Like, the art style is extremely strong, but there are HD textures for it out there for Dolphin.
True. Yeah, I'll have to play it again to get a stronger opinion on it. But man,
Galaxy is a
Man.
beautiful experience. I love it a lot.
all right. Well, I think that just
Huh?
about covers
Yeah, that's it for me.
our.
All right.
I've just been playing the collect. I've replayed Katana Zero.
Let's
Because
go.
I'm waiting for the
Ah.
DLC to drop.
I'm still
I've
waiting.
just been
It'll
like
never
over
happen.
kind of like I'm doing
Never
a run again. It's shorter than I remember.
It's like you can do it in 3 hours.
Yeah, I probably just got better at the game, but I was like, oh,
That too,
that's
yeah.
fast.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's it for me.
All right.
You guys want
I
to
guess-
move on to the next topic?
Yeah, we do.
I guess that would be the PlayStation 5 versus the Xbox Series.
Yes. Or as we are going to be abbreviating it from here on out, the Xbox Sex.
Let's
And-
go.
And
coined this phrase?
the Xbox SES.
And the Xbox says.
Ah, the Xbox cesspool.
We each get a dime whenever anybody says these terms.
Yeah, we get
Mhm.
royalties. It's already trademarked.
Yes, we are being sponsored by Pornhub, I guess?
What?
I mean, who else is going to sponsor sex?
True.
The CEO
Nike.
of sex.
Netflix.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So, PlayStation versus Xbox, a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
Which one do you get?
As far as between these two, well, do we want to go down the line again, or do we just want to?
I
mean,
think
I-
all go at it.
I say we just throw.
Does anyone want to give like a rundown of the basics?
Yeah, I've got a few stuff for the big points. So
Xbox sucks.
PlayStation 5. We're gonna start with PlayStation 5 first. So if you ask most people, PlayStation 5 has those sick, nasty exclusives
Mhm.
like Horizon Zero Dawn, Demon Souls, all the other incredible PlayStation games like Bloodborne and
God of War, fight me.
Yeah, it's true.
Another time.
They've also got this
Spider-Man.
crazy.
Mm.
They got the crazy SSD. Listen to this: 5.5 gigabytes a second. That is nuts. Like, I mean, I guess it does sound like a little number, Garbo, but that is fast. Like when they say no load times, they mean it with that kind of stuff. Compared to the Xbox Sexes, still fast, but it's only got like half the speed, 2.4 gigs.
I can't even count that high.
Like
True.
Whoa.
So
like all
true.
the you like. That's the great part about that is now you won't see these arbitrary like elevator loading screens
Mm-hmm.
where you just have to wait for the world to come in, or like I vaguely remember in like Dark Souls you had to go through like Mist stuff to load
Yeah.
load in the world.
Yeah.
Like that stuff, no more, which is awesome because it gives games more freedom to around how they design their world and
Create it
their
and make it
pacing.
more seamless. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So for a lot of people, they at least that I've personally heard, PlayStation 5 is like the way to go. especially with their controller, like the
controller. I'm very interested in.
I'm very the haptic response triggers that fascinates me.
Yeah, me too.
Full headset.
I want to get my grubby hands on that so bad.
Me too.
Just the idea of like feeling the tension, like when you pull back a bow, and then when you pull it enough, then you can feel it like release or something. That's so cool. And they're like alternate fire modes where you can like you push down, but if you push really hard, then you'll like I don't know launch a grenade or something. Like there's so much you can do with that, and I'm glad that they're pushing for more controller freedom, because I feel like controllers have kind of PlayStation and Xbox controllers. I'm not talking Nintendo. That's a whole different ballpark. But I feel like controllers have been
stagnant,
too static.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got you got your D-pad, you got your 4 face buttons, you got your sticks, triggers in the back, and honestly the craziest thing they've added since they've got that system was like rumble.
Well, the PS4 tried to do some stuff different.
You're right.
It's got that touchpad,
and
it's got the built-in share button. But no games really took advantage of that. The only game I can think of that really actually took advantage of that in a way that felt meaningful was Death Stranding. You can actually, like, the touchpad will light up different colors depending on what situation you're in. And you know the baby, of course. So there was these segments in Death Stranding where you could actually take the baby if it's crying, and you could shake the controller gently up and down like you're rocking the baby back to sleep.
Shake the baby to sleep.
You can also do that too. Like you could violently shake the baby and it'll just make it cry more, but yeah, you can.
Good game design.
It's great game design. Death Stranding is pretty good.
I wasn't that interested in the game till now.
Honestly, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But back to what I was talking about. So yeah, I'm glad that they're doing more innovation on the controller wise. That's one thing about Xbox. I think I should start talking about Xbox now. Speaking of which,
honestly, one thing I want to add about the PS4 controllers thing. There's this thing in I think GTA 5 that when you're being chased by the police, the PlayStation remote flashes blue and red. I like that.
Yeah, the LED light on the touchpad is really cool. I like that a lot.
The light is one of my favorite things about that. All right, I'm sorry. Continue.
So for the Xbox, so again from my my polling research, there seems to be the big draw to Xbox is Game Pass. Like
that's all I have so far.
It's all about Game Pass. Like that, they've been pushing that super hard. You got more than the fact that there's more than 100 games of like actual quality AAA games that you could just have mixed with good indies as well for only $80 a year. That's less than 2 retail games.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, how many retail games do you buy in a year? Like 6?
A few, yeah, around that many.
Like
well, new anyway.
That's a steal. So like you it may not have like the hard exclusives like PlayStation does, but when you got something like Game Pass, that is quite the bang for your buck. Like that sounds like if you just like want to get into gaming, or like maybe you don't have as much money, you don't want to have to keep buying games, because if you think about it, console's only a part of the payment. Like you gotta you have to have games to play, and if they're all $60, that adds up quick. But I mean, Game Pass, you just snap instant access to all these great games for like $15
got you covered.
a month. It's
Game Pass is on PC too, right?
It is.
That's another.
Yeah.
And I want to get into that too.
I think this isn't such a strong point for the Xbox itself, but for the company. But they support PC.
Yeah. And I want to get into that when we talk deeper about console wars and their history, but
it's really interesting.
Yeah,
how it fits into it.
So, final thoughts about just the Xbox Sex. There are hints. The whole thing. There's a series in the name that they're going to be coming out with a lot more versions than the Sex and the Sus.
Xbox Series 2000.
It makes it sound like that instead of having like flagship, like you got your 360, then the original Xbox. It sounds like what they're gonna do is just like have new series that are just gonna go up and up from. But the cool thing about that is that it sounds like everything you buy is gonna be compatible with anything below or above. So like
There
you
is
buy,
that, I guess.
so like you buy a game now, and you'll be able to keep playing that game on your consoles going forward and backwards. So it sounds so like all in all, Xbox is going for the deals.
That seems to be the case, yeah.
That's about my thoughts.
So
far.
as far as mine go, as it stands right now, I don't plan on getting either, and it's going to take a lot to convince me to get either. But if
It's
I had
500
to,
bucks.
yeah, if I had to pick right now, it would be PlayStation. Mostly because, like we talked about, they are more tight with their exclusives than Xbox are right now. The vast majority of Xbox games are now being co-developed for PC. So, in a sense, I would say that Microsoft is being extremely and unusually pro-consumer now, especially.
It's actually a little weird because
Yeah, it's
you
extremely
consider
weird.
that to be a hit against the console, but such a good thing for everyone.
Yeah, for everyone
That
else.
And the console's still gonna sell decently, probably.
Probably, yeah.
And they're still probably going to be making money because I mean, think about it. You're probably playing on a Microsoft machine
Right now,
Windows
yeah.
10.
And like as you know, they're porting some games to Switch as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they've been friendlier with Sony even. So
Yeah. Like here's the thing, and I will get into this a little bit more later when we talk about console wars and their history, but I definitely think that the previous generation has gotten to Sony's head, and Xbox has been forced to learn a lot of humility since the embarrassing Xbox One launch.
Hoo-wee. Yeah.
who was
What
the
a-
guy before Phil Spencer? People don't like him.
I don't remember him at all.
Jeff Kaplan.
Ah,
Okay,
um,
Sounds right.
but
sounds normal.
yeah, Microsoft and Sony are starting to make their games more available on PC since Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn have come to Steam. And I'm all for this. I love this. But Sony is still being a tad greedy, keeping stuff like Demon's Souls and Spider-Man to themselves. But due to recent developments, I think that might be necessary. I will say this, though. The Xbox Series name scheme is fucking stupid. I don't know what it
no,
is.
there's no-
So dumb.
But between the 360, the One, and now Series X and S, Microsoft has been awful naming the Xbox consoles. Like, PlayStation just keeps going up in numerical order. It makes
Yeah.
sense. And Nintendo actually learned from their mistake with the Wii U. But Xbox can't seem to get it together when it comes to naming their shit, and they have not been able to get their shit together for 15 years.
Nintendo actually names each of their consoles something different.
Yeah.
Like the NES, the Super Nintendo.
Super
Well, I would still count
NES.
that as different. Nintendo 64. For a while, they used Nintendo.
yeah.
After
I mean,
a bit,
eh.
just the GameCube, then just the Wii.
They,
I mean,
Then,
but
no-
I don't
then nothing happened. Then
But
the
then
Switch.
look at the handhelds though. You've
Yeah,
got
the
Game Boy,
handhelds,
Game
and
Boy
I was
Color,
only gonna make that up too,
Game
yeah.
Boy Advance,
Mhm.
Game Boy Advance SP, and then you got the
The
DS,
DS, the DS Lite, the DSi, 3DS.
Then the 3DS.
The new 3DS,
New
the new 3DS XL, the 2DS,
No.
the new 2DS XL.
Yeah, it goes on.
These
Yeah.
things are actually pretty bad, yeah.
Okay, no, they're not bad, and I
And
don't
they still
think
sold
it's
amazingly.
bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad to name them similar things. I think the problem with Xbox Series X is shortening it, the acronym. Like I feel like if your acronym is like more
Xbox
than
X.
2 or 3 syllables, then
Mhm.
you've got a problem. Like Xbox Series X, how do you shorten that? Xbox X, as
XBSX.
funny
That's
as that
literally
is, sounds dumb as heck.
Mhm.
Like it's just kind of a mouthful,
Yeah.
and it's 3 words. What?
Remember,
X- Well, not words, but like you know what I mean.
the purchases of Xbox One X skyrocketed, presumably because they confused it with the Series X.
That's what
Hey,
they've
so
been
the
saying.
pre-orders
That's what
for
people
the
have been
Series X went
saying.
up.
But
As funny
I
as that
also
is-
heard that Xbox One is ending production as well, and that might also play into why sales have jumped up. I don't really know why,
Well,
but
the Xbox One X is ending, and so is the digital edition of the S. But the S is still going. That's what I got anyway.
All right.
it still makes sense that they would like get the X. But either way,
All
Yeah.
this stuff with Xbox really pushing to put their stuff on PC. It makes you wonder, are they going to go the way of Sega, or maybe they just
no.
I think they're going.
And we're
to
gonna
be
get
more-
into that very
They're going-
soon.
Okay, yeah, I'll save it.
All right.
Um,
But yeah, I guess the general consensus is the PlayStation 5 is like if you're more intertwined into the gaming sphere, it sounds like the PlayStation 5 is the way to go. But
Yeah.
if
I
only
would-
I could pre-order one.
I would personally prefer getting a good PC with Game Pass Ultimate,
yeah.
and then
well,
I'm good.
There's also that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you could get.
So I would-
PCs just
I would
with the
still be
high-end.
selling my soul to Microsoft, just in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've all kind of accepted that at this point.
In a way that's ultimately pays off better in the end.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any
Yeah.
thoughts about it?
I'm selling my soul anyway.
Not really.
All right. So now we're going to get on the topic of console wars and their history. We're just going to be giving our current opinions on PC, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. And we also are going to talk about how we have felt about them growing up as well.
Oh man, I love console war history. It's fascinating, like just seeing how far back it go, how many different layers, all the stuff no one talks about.
Yeah.
Like, nine times out of 10, you ask people what an Amiga is, and they tell you "Hola." So like, I mean,
What?
so like
Lol.
exactly. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Amiga?
No, I
those
know
are,
what
those
you're
are those
talking
little
about.
Nintendo toys, right?
The Amiga. What? Excuse. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so many different, like all these different people that have dipped their toes into the console ring, but in the NES, pre-NES era, with Atari,
Ugh.
Tiger. You've got Commodore.
Mhm.
You've got PSX. There's so many. I don't have all of them down, but I love this stuff. It's fascinating and it's fun too. Honestly,
In
I
a way,
feel like-
yeah. The history itself is interesting.
I think it's kind of cute.
Yeah, it is fun, but I'm also I'm glad it exists. Like I know a lot of people are like, oh man, it sucks to have to make the decision of which games I can play with my friends, but competition is always good for the consumer.
I guess, yeah.
Like,
Well,
because
absolutely, yes.
You gotta one up the other dude, and the only way to do that is to get people on your side. So you gotta do things better. And then 9 times out of 10, it works out for the. Okay, I feel like exclusives
Exclusives
are
is
like
the
the
issue here.
the only contradiction to that idea, and I feel like exclusives is it could be like a conversation for another day about how
Honestly,
kind of harm.
do we want to leave that for another day?
Yeah, I think
It
we
plays
should. I feel like that's the rabbit
into
hole.
it does play into a little bit of what I talk about, but
I think maybe the argument of whether exclusives are good for competition.
okay, that argument specifically, yeah, we can totally save that for another day.
Okay.
All right, because I feel like it applies to so much more, like streaming services.
Mhm.
People and,
We could
all
discuss those two games as games being delivered by a monthly payment.
I bet that's a.
Yeah, we'll talk
Also
about
another
that,
topic.
but yeah,
But yeah, one thing that is interesting is that I never actually experienced this stuff in my time growing up with gaming. It was all
ooh,
post-human.
ooh,
Yeah, like
this
I
is
was
where
a
I
wee
come
boy.
in handy.
I was a wee boy.
Mhm.
So like I didn't know anything else. I wasn't in the gaming sphere at all. I just had like Sonic Colors, Sonic Unleashed, Mario Galaxy, and like Toy Story, Pinball Mania, and all the other shovelware, and that was just my life. I never had
I feel that.
an Xbox growing up, never had a PlayStation growing up. I could never like my only experience with those kind of stuff, with those kind of consoles, was going to friends' houses and seeing Mortal Kombat X and Call of Duty. So I never really. That was just I didn't even know that existed really. That whole kind of life.
No, yeah, totally. It was very interesting.
Yeah, totally. I kind of wish I did. But yeah, that's kind of my stuff.
All right. So I'll just go ahead and get into it with the triad that I have written. Feel free to speak up at any time. But starting this off, I am going to be extremely blunt. PC is, always has been, and always will be the way to go when it comes for gaming. It is just the optimal way to play video games. I totally understand the barrier of entry. Computers are intimidating for a number of reasons. Unless you want to get your ass scalped with pre-made builds, then building your own is the way to go. And even then, it's still expensive. And then there's the act of actually building it yourself, which is a nerve-wracking process, I would know. But, hear me out. I saved up for one, I built one, and if I can do it, you can do it too. Because not only are you going to be getting the best of the best out of games, but in addition to that, you've got emulation, so you're getting the best out of old games as well. The only thing that you're really missing out on is current generation console exclusives, and that's ultimately what boils my choices down as far as what consoles go. But even then, like we were discussing before, Microsoft and Sony are putting more of their games on PC. Microsoft in particular. There's just no way around it. It is the way to go. Nintendo is immediately my next choice after PC. Because Nintendo has the most exclusive titles, and historically, they've been extremely unique experiences that are tied with their unique hardware. Though I will say that's not so much the case anymore. Because with the Switch, Nintendo seems to have abandoned the concept of creating consoles that would allow for unique gameplay implementations in favor of a portable home console that you can take with you anywhere. And I appreciate this approach.
A bit of a shame, because the Joy-Cons and the Switch, they seem like the ultimate combination.
Yeah,
of the
but
Wii Remote Plus with the Wii U to a degree.
Yeah, and hardly any games really utilize them. Mario Odyssey uses them the best that I've seen thus far. And probably Breath of the Wild too. I don't know, I played that on Wii U. But,
1-2 Switch is a good demonstration, but it's...
No one's
as a
gonna get it.
game,
Screw that game.
Yeah, as a game, it's lacking.
$6. Why would
It's
you
not-
buy it?
I want Wii Sports Resort 2.
I
Actually,
want a rematch with Matt.
Yeah. Switch Matt.
Yeah. I do wish that that third parties were more willing to try to experiment with Nintendo's hardware, because I feel like the only people that really do anything interesting with it is Nintendo itself.
Yeah, and historically that has been the case.
It kind of sucks, man.
There are very rare examples of games that actually take decent advantage of what the console has to offer, like the original No More Heroes.
First, Zombie U also comes to mind. That game, I think that was the only main third party exclusive title for the Wii U that actually.
And then it ended up coming to PC anyway.
Though, I kind of want to play it on Wii U because I've heard the ports just lose the appeal. It's
Yeah.
just generic zombie game without them.
At that point,
Yeah.
it's a generic zombie game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was built to, stand on its own legs like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The one thing they consistently did with the gamepad was mini-maps.
Yeah, that's the most consistent, or an
It was
easier
literally
way
the-
to equip items from a menu.
It was the inventory and minimap.
It was right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which
it's honestly-
makes sense.
For what it's worth, it's pretty good.
I remember the original Wonderful 101 used it well as well, and I've only played the remasters, so I had no way to compare the experiences, but Yeah, like very rarely
Time to
did
buy a
other.
Wii U.
Yeah, no. But yeah, very rarely have games actually taken advantage of the unique properties that come with Nintendo's hardware. Well, and I do appreciate their new approach now, admittedly, because it means their games are going to be a lot easier to emulate in the future. There's already a working Switch emulator.
Yeah. Wow, really?
Yeah, Yuzu.
It's
Um,
Yuzu.
The main thing about the Switch, though, is that it is underpowered, as Nintendo's consoles have historically always been to its competition. I'm not even joking.
The N64 was the most powerful
I'm sorry, yeah.
of its time.
Okay, so it wasn't always true, but other than
And,
that,
It was only, I think it was around
No,
the
yeah.
time of the GameCube when they started shifting more towards.
I thought
kinda,
the
but the
Genesis was
GameCube
stronger than the Super Nintendo. I can't remember.
The GameCube was a little bit less strong than the Xbox.
Yeah,
And the Genesis had exactly one thing over the Super Nintendo, and it's that it was faster.
that's what it was. Okay,
But the SNES beat it in every other way.
gotcha. All right, well, never mind that then. Oh, I also like this Genesis's sound chip more. But besides the point. So you're not going to be seeing very many powerful third-party games on the console as a result, although some developers are trying, like Doom Eternal, which is still any day now. Any day they're going to announce that port.
Well,
It's releasing.
you know,
They barely managed to put 2016 on that thing, and even
Yeah.
then, it looks like you're looking at a Game Boy screen on a piece of toast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like. How are they gonna get a turtle to run on that thing? I just don't understand.
That's the I'm
Well,
guaranteeing
actually,
you that's why it's not out yet.
I could only play 2016 on Switch, so I played it on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
It actually runs fairly well.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I've never had an issue with playing games on minimum settings, and it looks fine enough for me.
that's good.
It
I didn't
barely
realize.
lags,
Mhm.
maybe when there's a lot of action on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
What's
but
been
it's
scaled down?
never annoying much.
Is it 30 FPS?
I think so. But I don't mind again.
That's fine. Yeah.
If you played other versions, it might be annoying.
Oh yeah, I would not be able to go back to 30.
I am
Phantom,
used
never
to
play
low
140.
low
Never
power.
play 140.
Oh, yeah.
It will ruin so many games for you if you play at 140. Because once you get that sweet ambrosia of 140 FPS, you just can't go back. 60 FPS looks disgusting. 30 FPS looks like a slideshow.
Intentionally doesn't get a super good PC because he doesn't want to get used to it.
No. Just get just get a 60 hertz monitor, man. Like you don't go in too deep. I'm telling you.
I don't have the money to, frankly.
Yeah, I don't plan to either. I'm pretty good with this. But
I'm not that demanding from my games graphically
me
or
neither.
performance. I just want them to be playable.
I would rather they perform well.
Yeah, playable, lightly speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're not going to be seeing the more powerful third-party games as a result. And ultimately, I feel that Nintendo works best as a companion to something else. I wouldn't make it your only system of choice because, yeah, there is a lot you're missing out on.
Still waiting on the Halo ports.
Yeah,
Literally never.
The Master
Any
Chief
day now.
Collection is coming.
any day now.
It's coming
just
with
waiting.
Gino.
I'm
On
waiting for
a-
the Prime trilogy.
Metroid Prime trilogy, yeah.
They haven't
That's-
even ported
that's
that.
funny.
Fucking
That
happening.
is that's funny.
When
God.
the Master Chief Collection gets ported, if it gets ported, it will be amazing, actually.
I'll pick
Honestly,
it up.
yeah.
It will be historical.
Absolutely.
I-
So PlayStation would be.
Oh,
Hmm?
sorry.
Okay.
I was. Hey, internet lag. Go on.
Are you sure?
Yes. It's
Alrighty.
fine.
No problem. PlayStation would be my next choice after Nintendo for one reason and one reason only: exclusivity. However, PlayStation has been losing their grip over the years when it comes to exclusivity. Franchises that have historically only developed for PlayStation, like Crash Bandicoot and Final Fantasy, Persona, Yakuza, etc., they're all gradually opening up and moving away to other platforms. Kingdom Hearts came to Xbox last year, I think. Death Stranding, Horizon Zero Dawn, like we talked about, they're on PC now, despite being advertised heavily as PlayStation exclusives. They still have a number of IPs under their belt, like Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank, Last of Us, Little Big Planet, Uncharted, and others. But they're also fighting for timed exclusivity with games, like they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake, now Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. I think that the new Final Fantasy 16 is also going to be a timed exclusive. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. Don't quote me on it. But yeah, the keyword here is timed. So they really are losing their grip when it comes to that. And if they lose their grip on exclusivity, they lose a large chunk of their appeal as a whole.
This is probably a hot take, but I've never cared about PlayStation's exclusives.
Well,
DMC is on PC.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like the ones that you care that people care about have moved on already.
Yeah.
Because like when I was growing up, those franchises were only on PlayStation. That was the only way you could play them. But as the years have gone by, it's open to everyone else. And now, yeah, PlayStation's IPs, exclusive ones as of right now, yeah, they're kind of lacking. I'm not interested in hardly any of them. The only ones I care about is Spider-Man, and I haven't played Ratchet and Clank yet, but I'm very, very interested, and I want to try it.
Please do.
I'm waiting eagerly for Persona. Persona 4 already came out on PC.
Yeah, which I'm very happy
and there
about.
have been rumors of them porting other games, so...
Yeah, they're talking about it. Mm-hmm.
I'm not
We're gonna die before that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not that interested in Persona, but it is probably the one I am interested in at all of what they have. And if they lose that as well, I'll have zero reason to get a PlayStation.
Definitely.
Have y'all seen the Demon Souls gameplay trailer?
Yes, I have. It looks so good.
It looks very good, yeah.
Stunning. Like that is next gen.
Yeah.
That is 100%
Absolutely.
next gen. That looks. I've never seen a game look like that, and that be in game. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if I'm gonna get around to getting one, purely financially. But if I do, I want to give it a shot. Except though, $70.
Yeah.
For a game. I am not happy.
I'm not happy about that either.
Change, but
Like,
did you see that study that said gamers will happily pay $70?
yes, I don't It's like not happily, but like,
Happily, no, but we have to do what we have to do, you know, to get the fucking games.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Nintendo to raise their price as well.
Yeah.
And they never go down in price.
Yeah.
I hope
Man.
$70 doesn't become the new retail.
they make a new Donkey Kong game,
That
and it's
is-
$80.
No. They port Tropical Freeze again. And it's $80.
This time you can play as 2 Funky Kongs.
Yes.
Double Funky Kong. And I mean,
No.
Okay,
No. New Lanky mode.
Like,
I
You're joking, but I would pay $10 for that. I would pay $10 more for that.
I mean, he doesn't have style, he doesn't have grace, but he does have a funny face.
mean,
Yeah.
that funny face, it draws me in every time. I
Exactly.
I can't help it.
Can't so good.
you lost me until you said funny face. I might have to buy it now.
I'm telling you, the funny face sells it.
Funny face.
So as far as Xbox goes, man, if
They have nothing.
If you had asked me a week ago, I would have told you that I thought Xbox was a joke, and then I would have told you that Xbox has always been pretty much a joke. A decade ago, I thought, and I still think, that Xbox was spearheading basically the ruin of the industry. They were the first to implement a paid online service. Other companies started to follow that, and then they didn't allow for developers to put out free DLC for a time. Team Fortress 2 has a port on the 360 that's not only still up and running, surprisingly, but is also extremely out of date when you compare it to the PC version. And the reason why it has been out of date for so long was because Microsoft wouldn't let Valve add new content to the game for free, when they could freely add content to the PC version.
Same for
So-
Left 4 Dead, I think.
Yeah, it was the exact same thing for Left 4
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, they had to charge like I think it was a minimum of $5.
Yeah. And
I remember
so
correctly, yeah.
they never added the content to the game, and so console versions stopped getting updates. And then you have the miserable failure that was the Kinect that they tried to shove up everyone's ass. And then
Hey,
there
Kinect Star was bumping.
Oh boy. I swear to God.
Remember, then they took Rare and like, you know what, you're gonna make Connect
And did
games now.
nothing.
Yeah. I'll talk about their IPs in a sec, but and then we have the always online DRM horseshit that they tried to pull with the Xbox One launch that would prevent people from sharing and buying used games. And I am so glad everyone reacted so negatively to that, because like I feel like if they didn't and we just stood there and took it, that would basically be the standard that we have today. And yeah, they shot themselves in the foot at the start of the previous generation, and they spent the rest of it playing catch up to the PS4 as a result. And as the years have gone by now, they seem to have learned a bit of humility, and they're becoming increasingly pro-consumer, especially with shit like Game Pass, which is becoming more and more of a steal, and putting Game Pass and their exclusives on PC as well. So, the thing about the Xbox is, for years, they didn't really have much to offer in terms of exclusives. They had Halo, which is really cool. They had Gears of War, which I could take or leave. They had rare properties that they didn't really do anything with because they thought they were buying Donkey Kong when they acquired them.
Did they
And-
really?
Did they
Yeah.
really?
No, that is 100% the case. Like, when they bought Rare, they thought they were buying Donkey Kong. They were wrong.
That would be hell.
Yeah,
That is hilarious.
actually hilarious.
Donkey Kong with Doom guy.
Oh,
We own
God.
Donkey Kong, right?
They actually thought they were buying Donkey Kong.
Yeah, they did.
That's so funny. Holy moly. They weren't even putting out Donkey Kong games around that time, really.
No, they were working on, I believe, Donkey Kong Racing
Racing.
at the
Oh,
time.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Racing?
It may sound like a joke, but it isn't if you play Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, like, I think the premise was that they were going to race on animals, like the animal buddies from Donkey Kong Country. Like, that was going to be the primary vehicle.
It was gonna be revolutionary.
Yeah, we'll go with that. It didn't really make it very far along in development, so... However, in case you haven't heard the news, last week, Microsoft made a huge play and bought ZeniMax Media, which is Bethesda, for $7.5 billion.
Yeah.
So,
Which, for comparison, is more than Disney buying Marvel and Star Wars combined.
it's insane. So, Microsoft now owns the rights to IPs like Doom, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Dishonored, Wolfenstein, Quake, and plenty of others now. And they've also confirmed that they're looking into buying additional companies. And though it's heavily been rumored that they might be buying Sega, I'm pretty sure both companies have denied it at this point, but still, they're
Yeah,
looking to
into
buy more.
Japanese companies.
They want to have
Which
more of a
one's on the
Japanese
Like,
market foothold.
Capcom, Square Enix, maybe?
Who knows?
And you know, I think I said this earlier, but their Game Pass also includes EA Play, so they have all that as well.
So all the EA titles are a part of Game Pass as well, but
Bas-
they're not
basically.
owned by Xbox though. That's the distinction.
Though it is a strong alliance.
Yeah, definitely.
So what I hope is that it doesn't mean that they're just gonna like, all right, our exclusives, don't worry about them. Let's just take others' exclusives and make them make our exclusives, and then we won't have to put. I'm afraid they won't put as much effort into their own stuff like Halo or something.
Well, not only that, but my huge worry is that the big three are all going to scramble to buy up publishers. And
I don't think Nintendo will. Nintendo doesn't do that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't, but I mean, if they're backed up against the wall, who's to say, you know?
Nintendo
I mean,
buys back Rare.
Nintendo
Nintendo does nothing that makes sense.
Nintendo
Yeah.
didn't even buy the dude that made Mario and Luigi games, and
They
went
didn't,
under,
no.
and Nintendo didn't do anything about it.
The employees did go into Nintendo, though. I heard.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. But I mean, just why wouldn't you buy them? Like,
It's
they're
very
basically your
questionable.
company.
Mm.
Makes no sense.
But
Oh,
I
this
mean,
company is going under. I'm just gonna buy it.
It's
Yeah.
not that they were gonna make any more games for it anyways, but it sucks that they didn't help them.
at all,
Oh.
yeah. I mean, it's well. I mean, if the employees went back to work for Nintendo, then I mean, it's not the biggest of issues as long as
Not the
they're
end of the world.
doing something. I understand it's probably the end of the Mario and Luigi games, but
Well, we might
Who
get
knows?
something.
we
Someday.
might. Well, we'll probably get something from them someday. That's the important thing. But yeah, having one of your favorite franchises purchased and no longer available on a platform that you own would be hell. That's why, again, I'm all the more thankful that Microsoft is doing PC releases in addition to Xbox releases. But thing is, that could change at any time. Like, they could, for no reason aside from boosting sales for the Xbox Series whatever, start putting a franchise on the Xbox for the sole purpose of driving up the sales for the console. And depending on if they follow through with their thoughts on buying other companies, that's a terrifying notion for me. I'm not really a Bethesda fan, but I am a huge Doom fan, and if for some arbitrary reason the next Doom game after Eternal were to be an Xbox exclusive, I would be pissed.
Yeah, but it's interesting though that Bethesda, at least, or people under Bethesda, are still making games for Sony, like Deathloop.
Well,
Is
it just
Deathloop-
went
Oh
in.
yeah,
so-
it's true.
Well, that's the thing.
that's
Like,
the-
they were already in development, so they have to fulfill that. I'm sure there were contracts involved and stuff, but after that, who's to say?
I don't think the
for
Bethesda games aren't going to be exclusives.
I think for a while they won't be exclusives, but as the years pass and Xbox gains more steam, they may get more greedy.
Definitely. It's always a give or take, because, like, the thing is, when you compare the previous generation and then the generation that came before that with 360 and PS3, it literally flip-flopped. Like, the PS3 came out originally, it was being sold for $600, and Sony spent the rest of that generation playing catch-up to Xbox. And while Xbox was the big dog as far as the companies go, they implemented these anti-consumer strategies that, you know, wound up spearheading and becoming the norm for the industry. And then when the following generation came about, Sony overtook Xbox once again, and now they're doing stuff like timed exclusives and shit like that. So even if Xbox does overtake PlayStation this gen, you know, they are the ones that ultimately decide how things are going to go and how pro or anti-consumer they are. Once they feel they're back up at the top, they might feel like, oh, well, people love us now. We can actually do this bullshit like the always online DRM needing to be used to play games, and we can actually get away with it this time.
I hope not.
I hope not, too.
Yeah, if there's like any company, like gaming company, I could see Nintendo buying, I honestly wouldn't be that surprised to see Namco be bought. They have like such a close connection, and apparently Nintendo already owns like 1% of it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see
Well, that's,
Nintendo maybe.
What's part of that
one day-
1%?
I have no idea.
I mean,
But I
Okay,
could, if there's like any
1%
company, I could see it being
that's a
Namco.
lot.
1% is a lot as far as like economics go.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And that would be interesting because like Namco holds the rights to anything Soulsborne.
Well,
Yeah, Dark Souls.
I think Nintendo owned.
Tekken.
Oh, what were you saying, Phantom?
Yeah, you first.
Nintendo owned like 51% of Rare, so they didn't actually buy it, strictly speaking. They're just really close to some companies that
Yeah,
are so close to Nintendo that they may as well be theirs.
yeah.
I
Which
think
was
the
the
ones
case
that
for Rare.
are the developers of Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh yeah,
Retro-
Monosoft Lift.
Retro Studios, I'm pretty sure, is Nintendo.
Which honestly
Yeah.
sounds like the plays, because I mean, you think about it, you've basically got a first-party developer, and you just don't have to buy them, which costs them lots of money.
Yeah, but the thing is, then it might lead to another Rare situation where they end up getting bought by another company.
I think Nintendo had a say in that. Like the deal couldn't go through without them.
I'm not sure exactly the specifics of the entire deal, but I mean, if that were the case, I would believe it. I don't know. I don't remember what their relationship was like towards the end of it. I mean, I remember they put out Star Fox Adventures, and they were working on Donkey Kong Racing, and that
GBA ports also.
Oh yeah, the GBA ports of the Donkey Kong Country games, and that's all I remember them working on at the time.
Nintendo weird.
They're weird. We mentioned the Nintendo hate cast last time, but so much stuff happened between now and then that we kind of wanted to address that as soon as possible. But the Nintendo hate cast, that's coming. You better fucking prepare your ass. It's coming. I want it to be next
not
week.
Even own Game
hold on a
Freak?
second. What day is it? Nope, we have something planned for next week.
We'll figure that out later.
That's
then.
it. Next week is the October
figure
11th
it out.
cast.
Is the what?
Next week is the October 11th cast.
Okay, yeah. We'll figure it out then.
No,
either
wait,
way,
that's
either
the
way.
Next one. My bad. That's the next one. Sorry.
The Geno cast.
Either way, it's
The
coming.
Genocast.
It's coming. It's
It's
coming. That's all you need to know. It's coming. But yeah. So yeah. PC is the way to go. Nintendo, you're gonna get the most exclusive titles and the most unique experiences from that as a result. PlayStation has some exclusives, but they're losing their grip, and Xbox is just unpredictable at this
Xbox.
point. I wouldn't exactly go and get yourself an Xbox, but I mean, hey, if you got a computer, get yourself that Game Pass, because, like, it is just that good of a deal.
Like
Yeah.
you can play the Master Chief Collection, so you can play Halo.
Mhm.
You can play Gears. You can play
Wow.
Titanfall
Is-
2
Is Gears on
with
PC?
EA Play. I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
The new one
You can play
sucks,
The
though.
Outer Wilds. You can play Arkham Knight. You can play various indie games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember everything, of course, but I know there was a lot that I was interested in.
And Doom Eternal coming out October 1st on
Yeah.
Game Pass.
Yeah.
And they're bound to include more Bethesda stuff.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like Bethesda's
You'll
back
probably
catalog.
get Elder Scrolls, Wolfenstein. There's
You
so
will
much.
now pay monthly for Skyrim. You will continuously keep buying Skyrim.
Todd! You've got me
Oh my
again!
God.
Todd, he's on another level.
I saw this post the other day that was they made Xbox finally buy Skyrim.
Whoa.
Ultimate Skyrim buyout.
This was on Todd's plan. He just wanted.
I cannot
Skyrim to be
believe
sold
it.
again.
How long has he been planning this? Because this is like a plan that's been 10 years in the making.
Oh
He's
no,
been
yeah,
ready
they've
Plotting.
he's made good friends with Microsoft. This has been something since the dawn of the gaming industry. As soon as Skyrim was made, Todd had plans. He knew where things were going. He knew the future.
Todd can see the future. He just has to make it happen.
Genuinely
He
the
wanted Bethesda to be
biggest
bought.
mastermind ever.
It worked.
It
He
totally
didn't
worked.
see the
What's
future.
imposter?
We're
He
this
brought
is
us the future.
this is practically paying taxes that go to Skyrim. Like you're practically paying for Skyrim even if you don't play it.
Even if you don't play it, exactly.
Like it's literally taxes.
I hate Skyrim, but
The Skyrim tax.
you're paying monthly for it.
You either own Skyrim or Skyrim owns you.
This, I think the thumbnail for this video should have Todd's face in the background, like as the sun, looking over
Nah,
everyone.
Yeah. He's just looking over everyone.
I think Todd Howard has like a 3% share of my life. I mean.
Okay, I didn't
for everyone.
tell all you guys, but he bought the server.
Oh
No!
god.
Oh god.
We're all Skyrim.
It's
This
like
podcast is sponsored by Todd Howard.
for years he's been orchestrating console wars. Years and years, and it's all been leading up to this point. It's finally paying off. $7.5 billion
For Skyrim.
for Skyrim.
Skyrim 2 now.
Oh my god.
You'll love to see it.
You love to see
You
it.
really do.
I
Thank
think
you.
That, I think that just about wraps up the good times for today.
I agree.
All I want to say for the console war things is, for me, it's been like PlayStation. Recently, it's been PlayStation and Nintendo going at it, and then Microsoft's just like behind doing its own thing.
Yeah, they're there.
Well,
I don't. They're there, but they're not doing much.
Microsoft is like the kid in the back that's trying to do like the little circle to like shape toy thingy where they try and fit the shapes into the box.
And then they just said fuck it and threw $7.5 billion into the hole.
Yeah, they just broke the hole.
Yeah,
Hey, I mean, fill up the
They
hole
threw
somewhere.
money at Bethesda and said, "Do it for me."
exactly.
now Todd Howard will be the head of Xbox. Phil Spencer has been demoted.
That's the plan now.
This is the
Oh
plan.
my
That was
god.
the plan.
It wasn't even the $7.5 billion. He didn't even do it for that.
Soon Todd Howard's gonna sell me Windows.
No.
Every
Oh.
copy
No.
of Windows is gonna become pre-installed with Skyrim.
Oh my god, I just
They're
got a
gonna
great
make
idea for the
Skyrim run on
thumbnail.
a pregnancy test. They'll find a way.
You
They
just
will.
you pull up the ultra scan, look inside the tummy, and you just see Todd's fully grown, fully haired face just staring up at you with a copy of Skyrim for
Mhm.
Xbox Series X in his shoulder,
Yep.
just looking at you.
I feel like when I am an old man, that like Skyrim is gonna become the new Doom, and everybody's gonna try and see if it runs on everything. I definitely feel like we'll
Cannot
reach
wait
that
for
point.
that.
When
Sky-
everyone
Unlike
owns
Doom,
supercomputers, Skyrim is going to run on microwaves.
Yeah,
unlike Doom, where no one pays for Doom, everyone pays for Skyrim,
one way
First they
or
run
the
on
other.
microwave.
one way or the other.
The new Skyrim game coming out is just Skyrim again. It's
Yeah.
a trick.
You're
The new
complaining about
Skyrim
your
game,
taxes
not even the
being
Elder
so
Scrolls.
high? Where do you think that money's going to? Roads? Nah.
No.
After
It's
Skyrim
going
runs
to
on
die.
everything, Skyrim's gonna run for president. That's the
Oh,
last
no.
step.
Oh
Wait, how
my
old is Skyrim?
god.
How old is Skyrim?
It's like 9 years old now. It'll be 10
Alright, I
next
think
month
that's old
or
enough.
year.
That's plenty old enough.
That's
They're
the
running.
mental age of our president right now.
On the 10th anniversary,
All right,
They-
let's
on
not
the
get
10th
political.
anniversary,
Yeah, we got a little too political.
Let's
here.
Oh,
not
God,
get
yeah.
political here.
You know me, I don't want politics in my games.
No, sir.
Now, excuse me while I go
That's why I
back to
hate
playing
Skyrim.
Metal Gear and Fallout.
Yeah,
You know-
I'm gonna be playing Bioshock.
you know me, yeah.
All right,
Like-
well,
That's gonna
I'm
wrap
gonna go
things
back-
up.
that's a good way to. That's a good place to wrap things up.
What were you saying, Phantom?
I'm gonna go back to playing SimCity.
Oh, I genuinely thought you were gonna say Skyrim.
I will make the politics.
Hey, you guys want to hop on Skyrim later?
Yeah, sure. Hang on. I just have to disable all of my hentai mods real quick.
Alright,
Yeah.
I understand.
I'm just gonna buy it again.
When is? Oh wait.
For the
I was gonna
record,
say-
I'm kidding. I don't even have Skyrim installed on my computer.
For
Yet.
the record, he is not kidding. He is being
I haven't-
completely serious.
He streams
Or
it on
am
his
I?
Twitch
It's
channel.
up to you to decide.
I'm gonna
So
have to disable my
while we
mods.
boot up Skyrim, let's boot down this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like my segue there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is a
thank
good
you.
subway.
The podcast will never end.
Yeah, this isn't ending. Just like
Uh,
Skyrim.
It's just Skyrim now.
Alright, we're ending this.
All right.
All right.
Why are we ending this?
No, we're ending this. Someone said bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Bye,
Bye, guys.
Goodbye. Thank you for
Thank you for
listening.
Goodbye.
tuning in.
Bye, Skyrim.
Bye, Skyrim.
Bye, Skyrim.
Skyrim.